Hey guys, how are you? I'm Coach Laura. It's Tuesday night, right? I think it's Tuesday night. It's a little bit late tonight, but I wanted to finish the day by slipping into my little makeshift studio here and continuing my Happy Healthy Mom series that I'm doing in celebration of all of us moms and Mother's Day coming up this Sunday. So yesterday I gave you an acronym for the word happy and just talked about tips for being happy. And one of the things that I said was that it's really to get overwhelmed when you are biting off a new fitness routine or trying to improve your nutrition. There's so much information out there, and sometimes it's just starting that keeps us from succeeding. Starting is often the hardest part. So I thought I'd give you some tips for just getting started. This is something that I did many years ago. I was not feeling my best self, not sure where to start, and to be honest, not really ready to go like all in, like really all in. I needed to baby step in, and that's what I did, and I think it's an okay way to start. A lot of people, when they start working with me, maybe what might stop them is the fact that they feel like they can't bite it all off at one time, and you really don't have to do that. One of the things I really like to do with people that I'm just getting to know is just figure out where you are, what you can take on, what you can, what your schedule will allow, what you can mentally handle, how you've succeeded or not succeeded in the past, what your obstacles have been, and give you something that you can succeed at. And it might not be biting off new supplements and a fitness routine and a nutrition plan. It might be just some of the more simple things that I'm going to talk about today. And very appropriately, I have broccoli on my shirt. I was laughing because I'm not really sure what I was thinking when I bought this, but it's specific to a program I'm certified in, and it's kind of fun, but it evokes some kind of funny reactions when I'm out. And I have green pants on too. I posted a picture of that earlier. I was like, I'm not sure this is the best outfit, but I thought it was appropriate for this video, so here we go. So anyway, I'm going to try to make these short and easy to remember. So when you think about getting started, as I mentioned, it's okay to baby step, and you can baby step, start with five. I call them the big 5 things. And these are the things that I started with when I started really just intentionally improving my health. And I'm not suggesting you bite off all 5 at once, because again, baby stepping is okay. You might just do one at a time, and that's fine. So the first thing that I talk about a lot in my coaching and in my content, if you followed me for a while, is water. You can honestly improve your health by just drinking more water, because most of us are going around dehydrated. And I could do a whole video about that, and I have before. So just increase the amount of water you're drinking. Half your weight in ounces of water, more if it's hot, you're exercising, but at a minimum, that's what your body needs to function efficiently. Half your weight in ounces of water. It's no joke, and it makes a huge difference. I have clients, even when they're doing everything else right, maybe after the first couple weeks, they're just not seeing the results they want to see, and I always ask, how much water are you drinking? Are you drinking enough water? Because when you drink enough water, it gives your body the opportunity to do all the things that it's supposed to do, and to also detox and flush itself out. So it's super important. Drink water. If you need some tips for getting your water in, if you have more questions about that, please feel free and message me. Okay, the second thing that you can bite off, and these don't all necessarily have to go in this order, but these are the big 5 things, are portions. Right? When I first started doing this, I really didn't have any guidance. I just started watching my portions and kind of trying to eliminate or reduce my sweets, because I have a really big sweet tooth. So a lot of different ways to determine portions. A super easy way to determine like what a portion of different foods is, I won't spend a ton of time on it here, but if you Google like hand portion sizes, there's actually a way you can use your hand to roughly estimate a portion size. Like for a protein is like the size of your palm. Healthy fat is like the size of your fingertip. Cheese is like this, or your thumb tip. Cheese is like the size of your thumb, yada, yada. It goes on and on. So you can Google that. I use really handy dandy color coded containers. I don't have to count or measure anything other than with those to gauge my portions, and I have a plan that goes along with that that's super simple and easy to follow, and I have usually just go back to that. The program specific to actually what my shirt's about, called To Be Mindset, actually gives you a plate, kind of a fraction out your plate way to determine portions, and I really like that too. And I can help people with whatever works best for them. And that's what this is all about, is finding the things that work best for you. So good to work on portions, because even when you're not eating the healthiest foods, eating in more appropriate portions is super important throughout this whole process. Okay, and so the other 3 things are really big. I'm gonna start with sugar. They are sugar. I can't really eliminate sugar, but reducing the amount of refined sugar that you're taking in, reducing the white flour that you're taking in, and replacing that with whole grain, if your system can tolerate that. And it's difficult to eliminate, but really reducing the amount of processed foods that you eat. Now, that sounds like a lot at once, and if you're baby stepping in, you might not take all of that once. 1 week, you might start with increasing your water. It might take you longer than that. You should constantly be working on that, right? The next week or 2, you're focusing on getting your portions more in control. And then you want to start reading labels and really looking at sugar. When I judge a food I try to stay away from foods, and I'm not just talking about treats, I'm talking about even stuff like pasta sauce that has less than, like, maximum of, ideally less than like 8 grams of sugar a serving. And you do have choices when you're reading labels, and you might be super surprised when you compare 2 things that taste very similar. The one that tastes best to you might not have as much sugar in it, or you might just want to try something that doesn't have as much sugar in it. This is super important for our kids too, because they're eating so much sugar and we're giving a lot to them. So look at your labels. Read not just carb content, but sugar content, what kind of sugar it is. Is it added sugar? A lot of things have added sugar that it's just really not necessary to add sugar to. I actually just replaced the peanut butter powder I was using because I realized it had like added sugar, and I was able to find an alternative that didn't, and it's just less sugar in my day. And because I'm a sugar addict, I have to be kind of careful with that. So it's not like it was making this huge difference, but it was sugar I didn't need to be taking in that I could replace with something else. When I first started, yogurt was like a huge deal. Like, I started reading the labels on yogurt and realizing how much sugar I was taking in through a seemingly healthy food like yogurt, even some Greek yogurts. So now I will often eat like plain Greek yogurt and just add my own fresh fruit to it, or we really like 000 around here. It's sweetened with stevia. So it's just reading labels teaches you so much and helps you with this process. Another thing you can tackle, and this could be, again, not all at once, it could be a different week or whatever, is white flour. And slowly but surely replacing that with whole grains. And that kind of goes along with the sugar and white flour. You're going to find less of those things in foods that are not so processed. So it's almost completely impossible to eliminate processed foods from your daily nutrition. It's possible, but it's not super easy. But just a reduction and eating more fresh whole foods that like are ingredients versus like a box food that just have a bunch of ingredients is so much better for you. And I'm not gonna just say eliminate convenience foods, because it's great in this day and age. You guys know I'm the Costco queen, right? Like, I find so many healthier convenience foods at places like Costco that are still quick and easy. But if you're reading labels, you see that they're so much better than what you were having before. And some of them might be good in a pinch and not forever, but like, I'm telling you, there are so many options, and I love sharing those with people. So go on a hunt and clean out your pantry, and just over time try and replace those processed foods with things that are so much better for you. And my last tip is, don't be like afraid to supplement because you don't want to take that on. Because first of all, when you start really getting into this, what you'll realize is that you actually cannot eat all the nutrients that your body actually needs in a day, because the quality of our food over the years has just declined. Like an apple today is not an apple even 10 years ago. So in order for our bodies to actually get the nutrients that we need, we do need a supplement. And I didn't want to deal with that early on because I didn't want to think about it. I didn't want to pay for it, to be honest. That changed when I had been super successful in cleaning up my eating routine, and my kids were, younger, like elementary school, and they came home from school for the summer, and I was like just trying to get them lunch and scraping the bottom of the veggie drawer to make myself some food, because I was out of my grocery routine, and just they were with me all the time, and that was different. So I just wanted to make a healthy shake and go to the pool. And honest to goodness, that's how I got started on the superfood shake that I've been drinking for the last 8 years. And I won't give it up because it's quick and easy and convenient. And on my busiest days, I know I'm still getting the nutrients that my body needs. So don't be afraid to supplement, but you want to read those labels too, and be sure that something you drink daily, especially, you're not putting unnecessary sugars, artificial ingredients, chemicals into your body, because the stuff that sometimes says it's healthy, it doesn't always mean that it is. So just be sure and read your labels. And I've been doing this for a while, so if you need me to help you kind of evaluate a food, I'd be happy to give you my input. If you need help swapping foods out, I'm happy to give you my input there. If you need some encouragement as you start baby stepping into all of this, just tell me what your goal is, and we'll work on a plan that works best for you, because my passion is helping people succeed and just feeling and functioning better every single day. So I will end this here. I'm super excited about tomorrow. I'm going to have a special guest on my live. I think we're going to probably do it tomorrow night, maybe about this time, maybe about 9 o'clock Eastern. She's got 4 kids, and she's like got this stuff down, and she's the meal prep queen. And I know it's not easy, but she makes it fun, and she inspires me with not only how she implements this stuff for herself, but how she involves her children. And her kids are a little bit younger than mine, so for those of you that have a little bit younger kids, I thought that you would enjoy meeting Miss Daisy, is her name. So she's going to be my special guest tomorrow evening, around this time, maybe a little bit earlier. So, okay, so that's all for today, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good night and a good Wednesday.